United in terms of making sure that Israel has had the support that it needs militarily to date. Our president announced today that this country is firmly behind Israel, and we need to do all that is reasonably possible to get them past this crisis, and really to get them past this war, which is not going to be over tomorrow. This is quite horrifying and unprecedented, what's going on. It's not one of these passing conflicts. This is a war. Hundreds of people, innocent people, have been killed, kidnapped, families kidnapped, children kidnapped. I don't even want to imagine what's happening to them. And so this country has to continue to stand for Israel, and people should make sure their voices are heard, and in any way they can help through the nonprofits and political support. I hope they'll do that.
Thank you so much.
Before running for Congress, I was the national organizing director for March for Our Lives, the movement that came after the shooting that happened in Parkland. And so when I got into Congress, my first bill was to create a federal office of gun violence prevention, something that our country has never had up until about a week and a half ago. We knew it would be difficult. Look, I'm a freshman member in the minority. It's difficult to create a federal office in your first year. And so we wanted to be creative in the way we could get it implemented. And so we called the White House. We've been pushing and working with them over the last several months. And a few weeks ago, I get a call from the White House, and they said, Maxwell, we love your bill. We want to implement it through executive action. And we want you to stand alongside the president and the vice president as we announced in the Rose Garden. It was an honor of a lifetime to be able to do that. And it wasn't just me. It's my bill, but it's also all the amazing organizations that have been fighting for this. I've been fighting for it before I got to Congress. And so this is a good first step in this year to ensure that we're working to end gun violence. The office has already been doing a great job of speeding up the implementation of the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act. My community just was awarded $1.5 million for community violence intervention. So there's a lot of work to do, but I'm very proud that in less than a year in Congress, we've been able to deliver on this so far, and there's so much more work to do, and I'm proud that we had co-sponsors on that bill like Lois, Frankel, and a ton of other Democrats here in Florida who understand the toll of gun violence. Yeah, just a few days ago in my district, an 11-year-old ran into his mother's car, opened up the glove compartment, grabbed the gun and shot at his friends. And this just shows the great need for safe storage laws that can save lives. I'm proud to co-sponsor Ethan's Law, which is named after Ethan Song, who died because there was no safe storage laws. And this can really save lives. And so we're hoping that we can push for that. Gun violence is the leading cause of death for children. If God forbid your child died before the age of 18, the leading reason is because of a bullet. And I think that's a failure of government. And so there's a lot of work to do here, but I'm very optimistic to be a part of this movement right now. I used to work at the American Civil Liberties Union, done a lot of research into this. Statistics usually show that school hardening usually doesn't work to curb a lot of gun violence. I'm not going to tell a parent that they shouldn't harden their schools, but I'll tell you, I'm focusing my efforts on proactive measures versus reactive measures. How do we make sure that a person isn't going to go to a school to kill people in the first place? And that's why these laws are so important. It's not about reacting after people have died. It's about ensuring that this doesn't happen in the first place. And so things like safe storage laws, ensuring that we have universal background checks, which guess what? Most Republicans are for universal background checks. Most NRA members are for universal background checks. It's one of my favorite statistics, which brings the question, if it's so popular for the country, how come it's not bipartisan in Congress? And because in Congress, bipartisanship takes a different definition. What it means there is what the NRA is okay with. And that's why we have to elect good leaders who are willing to stand up and pass actual legislation to save lives.
Thank you so much. You do.
Yeah, of course, thank you. That is not in our Bible. He is someone who wants to form this nation in the image of Christian nationalism, which is not in our Bible. We have to fight to defend every precious life, no matter who they are. Bullets don't discriminate. They don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. They don't care who you love. But you know who does care? The person behind the gun. And all too often, that person is hunting our marginalized communities, hunting our LGBTQ plus community, hunting trans people, hunting Black trans women. And we have to call it out for what it is. Because lives could be saved if, yes, we pass common sense gun reform, but if also we don't elect leaders who embrace bigotry and transphobia
to get elected. And so we mourn the tragic loss of London Price, someone who was pistol whipped and shot to death in front of her own grandmother. And the least we can do as a society is fight for true justice, which isn't about one murderer behind bars, but is about ensuring that it never happens again.